What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, break it down on what is really moving it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is up 0.2, $7.30 the low, $7.81 the high. So today's been kind of a crazy roller coaster. Starting off, you did have GDP coming in line with expectations. So 2.8% the forecast, and then 2.8 is the actual, so you can see that right up here. And so that's what caused it to spike, and not just SoundHound but pretty much the broader market. And then PCE came and really destroyed the optimism. It wasn't necessarily the month over month because that came in line with the expectations, so 0.2 versus 0.2, but it was the year over year. That's what spooked the broader market slightly, so 2.3 versus 2.2. And so that's kind of contrary to what the minutes did indicate yesterday, so the FOMC minutes. So as a byproduct, kind of the likelihood of a 25 basis point cut for the December 18th meeting went bye-bye. So of course, market didn't really like that. Growth stocks don't like that, and this is why you kind of had a pullback. So once again, it is what it is. I think just SoundHound has been getting less and less institutions paying attention to it, and so this is why shorts are able to really do whatever the hell they want. So you had some selling, and then as of late, you have some buying. Shorts, surprisingly, are returning 288,000 shares. They were increasing this morning, but of course, leading into Thursday, which the market's closed, and then Friday half open, shorts are just kind of taking the weekend and just closing out the positions, not worrying about holding anything. So 24.08% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 78.98 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average 11.99. Utilization is 84.64%. So things are starting to kind of shape up. Like I said in my last video, I think it just needs more institutions to really start paying attention to it, more buying. Couple catalysts from the company itself wouldn't really hurt, but there's been nothing really coming out from the company. Last one was on the 21st, and then aside from that, a couple of Form 4s that I did mention in my last video, which wasn't the best. But then again, I think that's just the board with SoundHound board. It's just they're not necessarily the most ideal, or I guess loyal investors, if you can call them that. But aside from that though, I still do feel and very am bullish on SoundHound, enough so that I did sell some puts. So in case you don't know, if you are selling puts, you essentially are saying, hey, I'm going to buy it at this strike price. If it goes below that, if it does close above it, then I get to keep my premium. It's a win-win. As I've mentioned in the past, if you like a stock, sell some puts. It's very advantageous. But 3.01 million in calls, 1.05 million in puts. 47% of all the options being done today are optimistic and bullish. There's a lot of money getting in between 12.20 and 12.25, 311,000 in premiums. If we kind of look at this a little bit, so you can kind of see there was kind of one or several large transactions, for the most part pretty bullish. So a lot of them were selling puts, similar to pretty much exactly what I did today. So really recommend a lot of you to do research and on options and stuff like that. And just generally, you can kind of see today is rather low for volume, for options volume. So today is only 4.1 million, yesterday 8.8, 14, 31, 30, 11. So I think it's just the market's just preparing for a long weekend for the most part. That's kind of it. But of the call options that are being purchased, you still see a good level of optimism for it to be roughly above $8.50 for next week, and still for it to be above $9 this week. So let me know your thoughts on that. Looking at the puts, so you see a consensus for it to be sub 7. So in my opinion, a little bit more upside is still anticipated. This one was abnormal, so you see roughly some entities out there thinking it's going to be sub $6 by January. I don't see that being feasible, but obviously my crystal ball is sometimes wrong, so you, no matter what, do your own due diligence. Right now with it at $7.64, it is trading between these 2 points, so this R1 and the pivot. So it was able to successfully fight back and get above this 757. So going forward, that's going to be a strong support. 853 will be that next strong target. So like I said, I think just what has happened over the last little bit, especially insider selling, is just unfortunate, but it does not change where SoundHound is going. It kind of just delayed it, but for the most part, I still see it at double digits. So let me know your thoughts on that. Quickly going over to IBKR on the actual chart itself, this is where you're seeing it really fight to stay above this ALMA. So that is at 775. So kind of watch for that. So that's between that pivot and this that other resistance point that I mentioned. But as of right now, MACD is looking fairly good, still above a lot of the key moving averages that I generally like to look at. So things are, in my opinion, still going to be moving up. Moving over to the 1 week, the 1 month, this is where you're starting to see a very nice recovery. So like I said, I think it's all going to come down to the technicals, the data points, and SoundHound is, for all extensive purposes, still a very good discounted AI play. So once the market kind of calms down from digesting that there won't be a rate cut, most likely for the December 18th meeting, this is where you'll see a lot more buying starting to happen. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. It's a very fun, interesting stock, a lot of manipulation, but I really do like the fundamental business and where it is going. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing I just wanted to share with you though, I did launch a Patreon where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto, and a lot of them have been absolute home runs. So pop over there to take a look, and link in the description below and also the comments. And plus there is a lot of good free information. So if you're looking to kind of learn options, there's a lot of beginner and intermediate stuff there for you to kind of take a look at. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.